to be honest, don't really know what I'm doing.
He was often a player that I would buy on Football Manager.
It's already a terrible reason.
From Jon Snow, Matt puts Dan's wardrobe to shame.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Look at him, the cat that got the cream.
Ian Taylor said it was the worst thing he'd ever seen in his life. Monk, really, I know he's manager. What kind of say is
Gary Monk. 5 out of 10.
I haven't finished yet. I cannot believe Gabby Abonahor's.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That's terrible. Yeah, we may well have lost listeners early doors again with a long-winded intro. Go, shoot. Hello, welcome to the Villa View podcast with Thomas Julian and myself, Dan Bardell. Very lazy podcast today. You can tell there's not much going on because I've turned up in joggers and a hat, having been home first. Not feeling the best, so apologies in advance if this is a Tom Julian-esque performance from me.
Oh, that seems unfair off the bat.
Good time in Spain.
Lovely time, yeah.
Good.
Great game. Real Madrid dominated. Although, having said that, Las Palmas... the referee was a little bit unfair. We were right by the Las Palmas fans, which is wicked. And the Bernabeu is an absolute pantheon. It's such
I don't even know what that means.
It's an amazing stadium.
It's a gladiatorial arena.
Exactly. You know exactly what it means.
Yeah. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And it was brilliant, obviously. Great goal from Casemiro. Well-worked goal from Isco as well.
I saw the Aston Sal goal. Was it Aston Sal? Who scored the world?
Asensio, that's exactly what I meant to say.
Not Casemiro. I wasn't even there, and I know who scored. I don't know who scored.
You can't even do it right if I've been to the game.
You can tell you've been on a stag do.
Oh, man. But no, it was good. We dressed up at the stag like Tony Pulis because he's a big Wolves fan.
I saw.
Which was fun.
I bet it's fun being him at the moment, being a Wolves fan.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he enjoyed it. But we did not enjoy it, did we, at the weekend?
No. I was about to say it was fun being a Villa fan. Until this weekend, but pretty much an absolute disaster, the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was on a stag do, so I must admit it hasn't been the closest of my attention. So, do you want to? I mean, we did it last time. Can you sum it up in 3 words?
Just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Really.
Definitely not 3 words.
Sorry, I didn't hear the 3 words. 3 words, but I hear what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Most of the time, as my wife will tell you.
Yeah.
When you're 1-0 down after 18 seconds, you know it's going to be a pretty long day. And you could see, as soon as, I think it was Reach, as soon as he hit it, you could just see Johnston was scrambling back. I'm not putting the blame on him at all. It wasn't the best defending, to be fair. Hint of a foul on John Terry, but it was a wonderful strike. You can't take anything away from him. That was some hit.
Adam Reach, he's got quite a lot of... plaudits from not just from that goal, but a lot of people are saying he's quite a good young talent that and maybe one to watch for the future. I don't know if Sheffield Wednesday maybe push on, he might be a key part of that.
I'd still have them around the top 6 come the end of the season, and having watched them on Saturday, although I think at times we made them look good. They're a good team. They've been up there the last few years. I think Caraval's been a bit of a victim of his own success because they weren't anywhere near the playoffs. When he took over, he's come in and got them in the playoffs 2 seasons running. He's obviously a good manager. They played nice football with the 4-4-2, to be fair, but the Terry injury came at a really bad time when we were already struggling to get a foothold in the game. And just for this 5-10 minute period when he went off, we just couldn't organise ourselves. And Samba, to be fair to him, he hasn't played for a long time, so to just come on the pitch and get up to speed immediately when the team's not playing well is never going to happen. And I think him just not having got up to speed cost us the second goal because it was oafish.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It seems harsh to put. I mean, he's he's a Championship footballer, so he should be ready to go when called upon. But it's easier said than done to do something like that, isn't it? Especially when you're, in the twilight of your career, shall we say?
I mean, in fairness to him, after he settled, he was good. He didn't do anything wrong, and obviously at the end, we'll come on to the whatever formation we were playing. At the end, he's popped up with the goal frustratingly as the last kick of the game, which was pretty annoying as well. But at least I can say I was there when Chris Samba scored for Villa because there must have only been 10 people left in the ground.
And maybe there'll be a quiz question.
Yeah, because there was not many people there at all when that went in. But I'm not so bothered about losing the game because obviously we're going to lose games. We've been on a good run. You're going to lose the odd game here and there in the Championship. And I said on fan cams afterwards, QPR beat Wolves the other week and then they get stuffed 4-0 by Forest this weekend. So the Championship's a mad, crazy league. Everyone beats everyone. So that result won't define the season. But I think losing John Terry for that long in that game, that's the thing I'm more concerned about because, as I say, we didn't look the sturdiest at the back without him.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you haven't heard the news, where have you been? John Terry limped off and he has broken his 5th metatarsal. That's the tiny little toe. And, we've seen it with David Beckham. It's a big injury. It's a tiny little bone, but it can be a really wide-ranging injury. The Birmingham Mail wrote Tony Kroos was out for just a month, and then kept Manuel Neuer out for months and months and months. So you just don't know when you're going to get back, but early reports are the new year, aren't they? And, we're 9 points off the top now. We're still sixth, we're still in the playoffs, but he was such a big signing, and as we talked about just last week, that he was a Player of the Year candidate. He's been a rock of the team, played every minute, and now you need to put somebody in there. Who's your first choice?
I was surprised at the time that he didn't put Jedinak on, because Jedinak is more of an organiser than Samba, so it's a bit of a like-for-like replacement with John Terry. I know Jedinak's not a natural centre-back, but he played against Sheffield Wednesday centre-back last year and was very good
and he's had a bit more time in the current team and this season, so he's a little bit fitter as well.
At that point, we needed someone to come on and steady us, and Samba didn't really do that, no fault of his own. He's not an organiser. English isn't his first language. He's not an organiser. So Jedinak coming on would have made complete sense, and I'm really surprised that Bruce didn't do that, because, as I say, we were all over the place for 5-10 minutes, and we didn't see Jedinak at all in that game, because the subs were bizarre in the game, to be honest. It was just a strange day, a really weird day. I think everyone was saying it was the first time they'd been really confident and looking forward to going to Villa Park for a long time, and I think we caught Wednesday at a bad time, because they were on a terrible run. And then they beat Millwall midweek, and they've obviously got their tails up and they've got a bit of confidence back. Jordan Rose hadn't scored for 22 games or something ridiculous, and then he scores midweek and he scores again.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, even I might have scored that with Villa's defence.
It was nice little football, though, wasn't it? It was intricate.
It was, but it was bad defending.
Right.
Both goals were bad defending. I know the first one's a worldie, but there was just a massive space in the middle of the park. The gap between the midfield and the defence was huge.
Yeah.
So no wonder he had time to pick his spot, and it was a great finish, as I say. But defensively for the 2 goals, that was worrying.
If we're going to talk a couple of positives potentially, Jack Grealish made his first moments. What were you going to say?
Just thinking, what on earth are we going to talk about?
It was a really nice tweet after the game. Jack Grealish tweeted him coming on, and just his delight at being back in the mix, really. And do you think now we're going to just see him built more and more in? And what does that mean for some of the other players? Onima, maybe.
Didn't he make a spelling error? On his social media post? I can't remember what it was, but Gabby corrected him.
Oh, no.
I saw someone comment saying, you've got problems when Gabby's correcting you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe English isn't his best, but hopefully we'll see his best football.
He looked good when he came on. I'd have had him on earlier. I kept saying to my dad, I wish he'd bring Grealish on. The O'Hare substitution was weird, because Snodgrass was obviously struggling, but then didn't react like someone who was struggling when he came off. He had a bit of a tantrum.
Right.
When he came off, which is I didn't really expect to see. I think he was just frustrated. The fans were starting to get on Snodgrass's back a little bit, actually, and there was a few ironic cheers when he got taken off, which is never nice to hear at Villa Park. But when we're losing a game, the bad eggs tend to come out at Villa Park. But obviously Snodgrass shouldn't have started. He wasn't fit enough to start. But we then had O'Hare and came on and played number 10, and we went to 4-4-1-1. Mm-hmm. Hogan was moved on the wing, which was a joke.
Yeah.
And the second half, O'Hare was on the wing and Hogan was back up front. So we spent 5 minutes with that formation at the end of the first half to then change back in the second half. And we were just all over the place all day. But it was when Grealish came on, obviously he's made a lovely pass to O'Hare for the consolation goal, and then O'Hare's put a good ball across, and Samba's ended up scoring. I'd have had him on from the start, if I'm being honest. When I predicted my lineup, I had him in the team if Onima was out. 4-4-2, I remember saying that I didn't think it was a long-term solution. It worked for that period of games, but again, it just didn't work for us. It didn't work for us against Wolves, and it didn't work for us against Sheffield Wednesday. So against the better teams, we should not be playing that formation. I thought Davis looked tired. Hogan huffed and puffed. He doesn't get any service, the kind of service he requires. So I'd have had Grealish in from the start, because he would have given you 60, 70 minutes. And then you would have had O'Hare as a natural replacement on the bench. There was enough options on the bench if Snodgrass was struggling that he could have moved out Al Mohammadi forward, put Neil Taylor on and moved Hutton back to right back. There was things he could have done. It was a bad day for the manager. It was a bad day for the players. It was just a bad day for Villa. Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk on Twitter the last couple of days about Hogan and whether that was kind of his last chance, really, to show what he could do. And as you say, he huffed and puffed a lot. But the house did not come down, did it, Dan?
It just never seems to.
No.
For him.
And will it? You know,
Well,
does he have another chance in him?
I'd have thought so, because it's Christmas, busy period will be coming up. There'll be rotation, there'll be injuries, there'll be suspension, so he will get a chance. We need Codger back. I know people were saying before, does he get into our team? I think Saturday shows that he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get into our team, because we really look like scoring.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week as well, didn't we? Where he's held us up for a year or two, like scored best part of 20 goals last year, and people are still kind of giving him that little bit of grief. And actually, you take him out of that side, and he's such a creative player, and he can be that 15, 20 goal a season man that we desperately need.
Well, he makes space for other people as well, because teams are scared of him. I mean, Davis didn't have his best day, as will happen with a young kid, but same as Hogan. He didn't really get any concrete service. We were just hitting, hoping balls into the box, really, which was disappointing to see. I didn't really feel like we had a game plan. At any point, we went 2-0 down and we didn't know what to do. And at the end of the game, I couldn't even tell you what the formation was.
Yeah.
It was just, people were all over the place. We had Samba as a lone forward and Davis and Hogan flanking him. We had Grealish, O'Hare and Horahan as midfield three, which is bizarre. Adoma was playing left back. Hutton was centre back. We were just all over the place.
Steve Bruce actually called it gung-ho, you know, in that Football Manager setting where you just chuck everybody forward, and that seemed to be what it was.
I don't mind going gung-ho, but let's have a few people in the right positions, maybe. I think that out of the people I've just read out, I think only Horahan was playing in his correct position. You can't have that many people out of position and expect to do anything. And Bruce will turn around and say we scored, but we may as well not have scored because it was too late.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at that point. So it hasn't started particularly well for the November predictions.
No.
You and I both, I think, went for a win, and we got nothing.
No. I fancied us. Really did. It was really disappointing.
And I mean, the fans did as well. You know, our biggest attendance of the year, over 33,000 fans attended the game on Saturday, and it's tough. But international break now, so
come at a good time now for once.
Yeah, for once, I was going to say, and it's a little bit of time for Steve Bruce to try and work out his back four, work out whether he's going to play a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or change it up. And you'd imagine maybe Neil Taylor comes back in at left
Hutton
back
didn't
as
do
well.
anything wrong again. He was probably our best player again, to be fair to him. And I've lost count of the amount of times I've said this, but I can't knock him. I used to pan him, but I cannot knock him anymore because he's made me look stupid. Yeah, like so many other players
like
probably have as well. Like my hat today as well. Casual Tuesday. Yeah, it just like, I mean, as you say, it's the biggest crowd of the season. Everyone comes there with the hopes up, and it's typical Villa, isn't it, to give you a kick in the goalies? I
mean, it's the Championship, isn't it? You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Don't get too high with the highs, don't get too low with the lows, and let's see where we are.
The result isn't the thing that's really concerning me. As I say, I can take losing the game. It's the fact that John Terry's gone that could derail our season completely.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it doesn't, obviously, and it relies on someone coming in and doing as good a job as John Terry's been doing, which is very hard, because he's got very high standards. And I just felt like he was making his mark. He was showing that he was a class above. We didn't look like we were going to concede goals, and then wham bam, your season could be in tatters.
Yeah, well,
he's going to miss 9 games. Sorry to interrupt you. He's going to miss 9-10 games, which is a lot of games.
Yeah.
And if we don't get ourselves organised, that's 10 games. That's like a quarter of a season, pretty much.
I mean, it's huge. There's no doubt about it. The Birmingham Mail currently running a poll, and I think fans are looking to Jedinak. That's the guy that they want to fill the void at the moment. Like you say, maybe it's the organisational capabilities and the fact that he's familiar with the squad, familiar with the team, familiar with Bruce as well. Maybe that all plays into his favour. Steve Bruce did call out a couple of players. Did you see this?
Yeah, so
Tommy Elphick and Michael Richards must earn their money. Now, Steve Bruce also said that wasn't exactly what he meant. But the point,
okay.
I mean, it's pretty blatant, isn't it, what he meant there?
Bit harsh on Elphick, I'd say.
Well, I think it's the fact that they both earn well and they're on long-term contracts, isn't it, that they should be... Well, they are. They're playing for a potential position now because there is a job there for the taking if somebody can make it theirs.
It's going to be Samba. He wouldn't have brought him on if he wasn't going to be the natural replacement for him. You think it would definitely be Samba? You don't think Jedinak? It'll be Samba, or we'll suddenly hit the panic button and end up with 3 at the back: Samba, Chester, and Jedinak.
Right.
Something stupid like that when we'll end up being all over the place and writing off a half like we did against Bristol. Personally, I'd start with Jedinak. I can't even think who we've got next. Oh, QPR away we're
QPR.
going, aren't we?
Yeah.
God, we've picked a bad time. We've picked a bad time to be going to an away game, I think, with John Terry. Although he would have got absolute pelters at QPR.
That's true.
John Terry, would he's probably quite relieved to be missing it, but he looked well on his holiday.
He's on a nice beach in Dubai,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen that
Fair
as
play
well.
to him.
I mean,
Why wouldn't he? Can't do anything else, can he?
What-
Might as well go on holiday with his family.
do you know, immediately I was just like, what is this? He's gone straight to Dubai. And then I was kind of like, well, it's an international break. What else is he
All
going
the
to do?
players that aren't on international duty will be on holiday at the moment. I saw
Yeah.
someone comment saying should be focusing on recovery. I'm pretty sure there's nothing he can do at the moment because his foot's in a boot.
I think for the first 2 or 3 weeks at least, you're not even allowed to put any weight on it. So I mean, top up your tan.
He looked glorious in his swim shorts.
Didn't he?
He's looked after himself. I'm ashamed of myself. That man's 5 years older than me, and he looks like a god compared to me.
I mean, yeah.
Anya.
Well, yeah, me, yeah. Hashtag love handles has made a firm return.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you really say about Saturday's game? You know, it was a disappointing performance. You chalk it up, and you've got to go again. I mean, again, Twitter is kind of awash with should Bruce stay?
It's ridiculous.
I really can't emphasise this enough, and I think you're the same, that we just the overreaction sometimes. You know, we haven't lost at home since April. I mean, a disappointing performance, sure, but you can't chop and change like that. I think for some fans, Bruce has burnt some bridges, or they've burnt bridges with Bruce, and there's no way back.
If he was going to go, it would have happened by now. And you can't have this overreaction every time you lose a game, because we'll lose another game. You're not going to go the whole season unbeaten. And to be honest, other than the Reading game, I'd say the teams we've lost to are not acceptable because we're Aston Villa, but you can see why we lost them. Cardiff are flying. Wolves are flying. We caught Sheffield Wednesday at a bad time when everything went wrong. So those 3 defeats are acceptable. The Reading one, you were there, pants, by all accounts.
Yeah, it was dreadful.
But you're going to lose games. We're still up there. Wolves are going to run away with it, I think.
We're a different side, I think, to the teams that we were at the start of the season. You know, the whole Cardiff Reading was a really lukewarm start, and actually in the last 6 weeks we've looked a lot better. What I would like to say actually is, in the comments, if you are one of those fans that wants to see Bruce out, is there anything that Bruce could do that would be acceptable? Because I've read people that want Bruce to get us up and then go. Playoffs isn't enough. Is there anything? I mean, if he went the rest of the season and didn't lose a game, would you still want rid of him? I'd be really interested to know in the comments what your thoughts are for those that are against Bruce.
There's no way he's going to go. It would take an absolute disastrous run for him to get the sack now, because we're not going to do it. It's like November now. We're not going to. I don't know why I had to look at the date on the computer to tell me that it was November. I know full well it's November. If he was going to go, it would have happened at the start of the season.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen now unless we have an absolute horror show, lose 5-6 in a row.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's going to happen, and I don't see that happening. So I think he's here for the season, and I think we'll be in contention. I don't think we'll get top 2. But top 6, I think we're more than capable of doing it. But a lot depends now on the reaction to the John Terry injury.
Yeah, well, as you say, it is November, and you know what that means?
No, if I don't.
Christmas is around the corner, Dan, and the Christmas fixtures are out. I know there's a few Birmingham fans who from abroad that listen to this and might be coming back to Birmingham for the Christmas period, and it's not actually too bad for Villa fans. There's a game on the 23rd of December.
I could have done without the 5:30 on the 23rd.
Yeah,
It's not helpful. I had plans that night.
What were your plans?
Going to a ball. A function, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Can you not go after?
Well, I will go, but I'm going to be late now, aren't I?
Yeah, that's not the end of the
I
world.
mean, I'm not going to go to the Villa in my I've got to wear Tuck's kind of clothing as well.
I'm going to that game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Aston Villa v Sheffield United. That's on the 23rd. I didn't realise it's 5:30 kick-off.
Have I just told you that?
I am going to have to...
Who are you going with?
Mrs. and
She's
Robbo.
getting into the football, isn't she?
No, we're going to a wedding the day before.
Oh, okay. Oh, which you're going to Reading?
Yeah. The wedding I was at Stag Do.
The Wolves wedding. I meant to mention this last week, actually, that I was speaking to the sister of the groom, and she expressed concerns to me about whether you could deliver a best man speech.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we?
I have to get it on video and get it on maybe get it on the channel somewhere. Get people to grade your speech, give it a pie rating.
A pie rating.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big time player, and when the lights are on, Tom Julian delivers. So, Villa v Sheffield United on the 23rd, the evening of, and on the 1st of Jan, New Year's Day, that's another 5:30 kickoff.
For no reason as well. It's not even on telly.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I could have done without that as well.
That's at home to Bristol City. Although it does give you a bit more time to recover during the day.
I believe I've got work on the 2nd.
Oh.
Isn't it the 2nd like a midweek? It's our back to work day, isn't it? The 2nd of Jan?
I haven't looked as far.
Yeah, I think it is. Could have done without that.
Boxing Day is against Brentford, that's away, and the 30th of December is against Middlesbrough, also on the road.
Boxing Day's on telly as well, 7:30 kick-off.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to go, but family commitments with the wife's family.
I think I might be going to that one as well.
Really?
Potentially. Like, I haven't got that one through committee yet, but we'll
I'm
see.
not even asking. I know I've got no chance.
What
Boxing Day.
happens to you, Dan, on an international break? Dan also obviously famous for the amount of time he's given to Villa and the lack of time to his wife. Does that change on
That's
international?
right. I've just said that I'm not going to Brentford on Boxing Day because of the wife's family.
One day. Good man.
Yeah, well.
So what do you do on an international break?
Chill. Relax.
Does the wife
We're not having any plans this weekend. I think we're just having a chilled one. We've had a hectic time.
Have you?
Recently, lots of travelling, obviously lots of going back and forth from Birmingham. Just going to chill with the rabbits.
The rabbits?
Why is that funny?
Because the rabbits didn't they go to the vet the other day?
Yeah.
How are they now? They're
They're
recovered?
fine. It's just, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to embarrass them on air.
You're embarrassing me on air.
But there was a search for the boy rabbit's manhood that we hadn't been able to find. It's been found, and he's a boy, I can confirm.
Oh, no.
So that's good news. That was what we wanted. Boy and girl.
Yeah?
Good news, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, there you go. A little story on the rabbits.
Wonderful.
For you.
Wonderful stuff.
Your battery ain't going to last, Tom.
Well, that's because I had to wait for you all evening.
I've been making a mistake tonight.
I got called out today not today, but this week on my...
I imagine you get called out most days.
Yeah, that's true. You've already called me out twice, I think, this afternoon. On my pronunciation of Melbourne.
I'm going to call you up on your pronunciation of pronunciation. I'm pretty sure it's pronunciation.
Yeah, I always get that wrong. And enunciation as well. Apparently,
that's right.
apparently it's Melbourne. Melbourne?
What were you saying?
Melbourne.
Melbourne, isn't it?
Well, I think that's wrong, according to this. Oh, my goodness.
God, have you ever used an iPhone before, Tom?
Daniel Brodie, the A-League is rubbish and I'm Australian. Tom's enunciation of Melbourne is wrong. Sounds like Melbourne, if you say it properly. Great
Melbourne.
podcast, lads.
Oh, at least he likes the podcast. I don't
Melbourne.
mind being criticised for saying things wrong as long as you say at the end that you enjoy the podcast.
Ross McCormack scored for Melbourne.
Well, we've got a guy there from Australia who's obviously saying it's rubbish. And there was another guy last week saying that it was great and that we were being silly. So I think those two need to maybe go against each other on the comments this week and make a list of pros and cons for us, because I don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Is the A-League rubbish? We could put a poll up.
Yeah, I might have a smint. Got some smints in my pocket. Do you want a smint?
No, thank you.
Yeah. It's more casual today. International break.
This is the most unprofessional I've ever seen you.
Can't you smint?
That's ridiculous. I can't believe you just did that.
Why?
We're recording a podcast.
Are people not...
Nobody can smell your breath.
No, but you might be able to.
I can, and I'm glad you had the smint.
That's a bit harsh.
The little villain. I've kind of gone into the comments.
Oh, you
here.
really have?
Yeah, I've got
Good times.
Yeah, well, let's go for it. The little villain. Great pod again, gents. Don't know if this says more about my life or how good the podcast is, but really is one of my highlights of the week. The winter nights are flying by in the Hutton household. Lol.
You just get a new life. No, I'm joking.
Thanks for listening.
No,
we
no,
appreciate
no.
you. And if you haven't put that down in an iTunes comment, you probably should. That'd be great.
There was a new iTunes comment, wasn't there? I sent it last night to you.
Yeah.
Did I have a go at you? I can't remember. Did I have a little dig at you at the end or not?
I think it was positive.
Oh, okay.
Not sure. Gray's Exon. Well, this game didn't go Villa's way, did it?
No.
I mean, that's short and sweet.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it didn't, as we said. What can you do? You win some, you lose some. We've won more than we've lost recently. I'll take that.
It feels weird in the podcast studio tonight because we were in here on Thursday. There's not actually been that much news. John Terry is a massive blow, but we're trying. I guess we're trying to be a little bit more. I'm not making light of a loss, but at the end of the day, like you said, John Terry's injury feels worse than the loss.
Yeah,
and the
that was
loss
what I came away from. I said in the car to my dad on the way home, I was like, I can take losing that, it's fine. But John Terry being out is an absolute disaster.
Jack Jennings, what a strike that was. People overreacting about one bad result. Thankfully, other results went our way, so we're still in 5th. We're in 6th now, 9 points off the top, but hanging on to a playoff place at the moment. I think Wednesday are just 3 points behind us as well.
Are they? Because they were down low.
Yeah, they're 11th now.
Dear.
Where does Hogan fit in? Well, we kind of touched on that.
It's the Scott Hogan podcast most week. We get asked about Hogan every week,
I was
don't we?
thinking that as well.
I still think there's a good player there. His confidence must be an absolute all-time low. I think in a different team, I think if he was playing for Fulham, who aren't having a good season at the moment, they'd be a lot higher in the league and he'd be banging in the goals. I think if he was playing for Wolves, he would perhaps have scored a fair few goals. But I see him being here till the end of the season purely because if we decide we want to sell him, then we're going to be selling him to a rival. I would have thought. And now, mark my words, there would be teams in for him. He's a good player. He's a proven Championship player as well. We just haven't managed to get the best out of him, and it is seeming like it's just not going to work. I really want it to though, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for him because you can tell he's frustrated. It's not like he's not trying. He's not working hard. I think people on here saying, "Oh, he's absolutely."
You're gonna have to take this off. You keep whacking them up.
Saying he's terrible. He isn't terrible. I don't think we've got in our team or our squad now any bad footballers. In our whole squad, I don't think there's any bad footballers there.
I might disagree with that. I don't think Micah Richards is a particularly good player.
Well, he's not really a footballer anymore.
Exactly.
He was a good player back in the day.
That doesn't count. But I take your
again,
point.
Micah Richards, I'm sure he doesn't want to be injured all the time.
No, but even so, I mean, he's obviously not doing enough to even get in the Carabao Cup squad. So because I think Bruce knows if he plays him, he's going to go off injured after 10 minutes. Right. So I mean that's bad.
He's just injury prone.
But I take your point. Actually, he's probably not even in the squad at this point in terms of when you think about the squad. You don't think about Micah Richards being a viable player. Really.
But apparently he is. I mean, I know this isn't what he gets paid for. He's very good around the dressing room and he does work hard in training. It's not like he's coming in and taking the mick. Apparently, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'd love to play football. I'm sure he'd absolutely love to be in the team.
Yeah, it must be weird. It must be weird being a player that knows he's not really going to play ever, and like keeping that motivation up, training hard, and then not even being involved on Saturdays. That's a weird concept for a professional who, like you say, wants to play football.
I mean, it's never going to happen. I'd actually quite like to speak to him and just find out how he feels. I think he gets lumped in with Lescott, and I don't think that's fair. I remember that game it was at Wickham away when he was having a chat with the fans.
Yeah.
And literally he was doing something then because he was having a chat with the fans because nothing else was coming out of the club at that time. I don't think he's a bad egg. Lescott was a bad egg.
Yeah. And
a bad footballer. I don't think Richards is a bad egg at all.
Speaking of bad eggs and good footballers, watching Real Madrid on Sunday night.
It's a far cry from my Saturday night watching Villa.
Cristiano Ronaldo, as soon as the whistle was gone, walked straight down the tunnel. Didn't shake anybody's hand. That really annoyed me. Like that's just totally disrespectful.
He's never going to make it.
No, I mean he's bang average, and what will become of him, who's to know? But that just wound me up. Like if you're so good, you're the best in the world, arguably, and
what was his problem? They won, didn't they?
There was no. I mean, he didn't score.
That's his problem.
But he did set one up.
He's a winner, though. If he doesn't score, he's annoyed.
Yeah, but I mean, at this stage in his career, he should be a bit more magnanimous than that. Anyway, I've just lost it. Goodness me.
You lost after 2 minutes.
76, J. Dav Dean. Is Hogan sadly one of those players that doesn't fit at Villa Park? Kind of talked about that.
Let's not talk about Hogan anymore. I feel sorry for the lad.
Yeah, up the Villa. Well, Terry's injured. Goodbye promotion. At least Birmingham are going down. Little change of words there.
I think that's a bit negative. You can't say when we're in 6th, bye-bye promotion. It makes the run of games harder, but who's to say he would have been able to play all those games anyway, John Terry, at his age?
Yeah, and I think there was a comment in that before, like a few people were saying, is this Bruce's fault that we brought him in? Is it Tony's fault that we brought him in?
It's a freak injury.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You saw the challenge. I mean, to be honest, he shouldn't have been where he was. The injury shouldn't have had to have come out from defence that far, but that was him. He was annoyed we were losing. It was him trying to rally the troops, make a big tackle, and he's hurt himself. It's just one of those things. Anyone can get injured. It's nothing to do with how old he is or anything like that.
No.
It's a metatarsal injury.
Yeah, it's not a wear and tear kind of thing. Disappointing overall. This is from Ben Redding. Disappointing overall, but no knee-jerk reaction from me. We've been playing well up until today and have the international break now to work on our defensive shape now that JT is out for the foreseeable.
Smint.
Oh, go on then. I'll have
You do want one now.
Well, I feel left out at this point.
Okay.
What do you think of that from Brent Redding? That sounds like the right
Sensible.
kind of attitude.
Sensible. I mean, to be honest, I've forgotten what he's just said because the Smint distracted me.
No knee-jerk reaction.
Oh, that's
We've
it.
been playing well
Sensible.
up until now.
Sensible. That's what we need. More sensibility.
This one I can't read that much of. David Folks, thanks for getting in touch. But I'm going to have to paraphrase a little bit here.
Swore a lot.
He swears a few times, yeah. Ha ha ha. Moaning about 3 games in 6 days is as bad as international duty. Villa fans are deluded. Wake up. The only fans who make up bad things. Even unbeaten, our football has been poor. Just be honest, no plan B. Easy to play against counter-attacking football. At Preston, our 2 goals were bad.
Is such thing as a bad goal?
They were worse than that.
What?
I don't know. That's David Folks. That's your opinion. You can have it.
Yeah, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but
You know, we've been...
even when we win, like you've got Bruce's getting stick from some people. If we win games, who cares?
That's what I mentioned earlier. I'd be really interested to hear from the negative, from those that don't like Bruce, shall we say, what he could do to change that.
The Fulham game,
nothing.
we played some really nice stuff. And again, people came away from that game and were saying we were lucky and we were rubbish, but we weren't. That's my opinion. That's from what I saw. I suppose plenty of people who thought the same. Same as me. I just don't get it sometimes. Like, saying the Villa fans are deluded. They're your own fans. I just think things aren't as bad as they perhaps seem just because we've lost 1 game.
Yeah, I agree. Right, with 2% battery left, I've been called out a couple of times to deliver some chants. I haven't done it, but I have. I have done it this week. I remembered earlier on today, and so I put a couple together, and they're not good. Let me tell you that.
Are they better or worse than my James Chester one?
Like par.
It's not good then.
No, not great. So the first one, because I was kind of thinking you have to pick quite a manly song, otherwise they don't get sung at football games generally. I don't think...
Sang Achy Breaky Heart about Randy Lerner.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Maybe that's wrong. But I went for Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA.
What? I mean, I don't know that song, but you've just said it needs to be quite manly.
Well, that's
then you've used the words Miley Cyrus afterwards.
Well, that's after I
don't even know what that tune is, and I doubt
There's
anyone
a party
does.
in the USA. Gotta put your hands up, playing my song.
Jesus.
Da-da-da-da-da. Hurrah, hands up, playing Johnston. The Villa will win away.
What does it make sense?
Yeah.
What does...
It's a villain's away day.
Hurrah, hands up,
Hurrah, hands up,
playing Johnston.
playing Johnston.
The Villa will win away. That
The
doesn't
Villa
happen
will
doesn't
win
happen very
away.
often.
Right, it's now. Yeah.
No, Tom, that's dreadful.
It's a villain's away day.
It doesn't make sense. It's
does
a
make
tune of a
sense.
song that no one's ever heard of. It's Miley Cyrus. That's terrible.
Okay, well, I've gone for more of a classic one to finish. As the winter is coming, there's only one Keenan Davis. There's only one Keenan Davis. He comes from the sticks, but he loves B6. Walking in a Davis Wonderland.
I think he'd probably be quite offended that you're saying he comes from the sticks. What does that mean?
He comes from Biggleswade Town.
Is that...
That's their nickname.
He
The Sticks.
he doesn't come from Biggleswade Town. He wasn't born in
He was
Biggleswade.
born in Stevenage, which is close.
Yeah, but he wasn't born in Biggleswade Town.
He might have been. He could have been born in the hospital there. Stevenage and Biggleswade is close.
I mean, it's better than the first one that you came.
I think that's better than
the
your one.
The first one was terrible. The first one was rang. That was who was
Put
the lad?
your hands up.
Who was the lad who made the other chance up?
Ben Hopkins.
I mean, his were terrible. But it was better than.
You've got a couple as well,
Oh,
haven't
while
you?
we're on the subject of chance, I meant to bring this up earlier.
Hurrah, hands up. I can see that catching on.
My former housemate, Kevin Masters, he sent me some. I can't even sing them because they're so bad. I mean, you have a go at these.
Right, hang on.
So this is Jonathan Codger to the moves like Jagger.
I've just found my voice.
Oh, this is painful.
He also says, always fancied myself as a football chant writer. So,
I mean, I'm not sure what he does now, but I know he used to work in advertising.
Right.
I'm looking at this. I'll be surprised if any of his adverts ever got off the ground.
okay. Okay, so moves like Jagger. Give him the ball and he'll show you. He'll fire off a shot and he'll show you all the moves like Codger. He's got the moves like Codger. Yeah, okay, that's better than mine. That's yeah. And then Phil Collins, You Can't Hurry Love. Bear in mind, I haven't heard this yet.
You did, I should.
How does even the tune go? You can't hurry love.
Does it?
Oh no, that's
Phil Collins
I'm
was
so
dead, he'd be
lost
turning
without
his
you. That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't hurry, love.
No,
that
you
one.
just have.
That one.
Oh, we've got her in hand, so we won't have to wait to get back up again, no matter how long it takes.
Doesn't even make sense.
Oh, we've got her.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't make sense.
We won't have to wait to get back up again, no matter how long it takes. It's a complete contradiction.
Oh, we've got her in hand, so we won't have to wait. This league ain't easy. It's a game of the give and take. That's bad.
That's
Kevin Masters. Good effort. Well done. Well tried.
Good effort.
I mean, he's had a go.
That last one's as bad as your Miley Cyrus one.
Her hands up.
I still can't believe you've gone with a Miley
Johnston's
Cyrus.
Playing away or something like that. I can't remember.
Move on, Jesus.
If
Hopefully no one's listening to the podcast for the first time tonight.
Yeah, please don't leave a review of this one. It's not the one.
Some of the negative reviews we've had over time. I'm starting to think they might have a point.
Yeah, one doubt. Well, there you go, Ben Hopkins. You challenged us to make some chants up. We've done it. If you've got any chants, you can send them in. I'm not going to sing anymore.
We're done with chants now.
Yeah.
I think we can officially say after tonight that there's no place for chants in the Villa View.
No,
Absolutely no place.
Somebody else take that on because it's not our strong. It's not our strong.
Give it to Project B6 because he seems he's a good organiser. Project B6, he gets things done.
Keenan Davis loves B6.
He's good on the atmosphere. Let's get him on it because we're no good at it.
He's from the sticks.
No,
but
that's not happening. That's not happening.
Walking in.
Let's go to questions and comments from Twitter.
Go on then, my phone's dead.
So AVFC Detroit, who's congratulations, his wife gave birth today. So congratulations to the Pearsons, lovely little family. Well, obviously in Detroit, as he's called AVFC Detroit.
Yep.
Do you see the JT situation as a short-sighted problem that should land on Steve Bruce's shoulders or Dr. Tony's fault for selling Baker? I presume the Baker sale was a joint decision between everyone.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd have kept him because, like you say, now it would have been perfect. I'd have felt a lot better having Nathan Baker to come in to replace John Terry. But Nathan Baker's been injured a lot, and he gets injured. That's another problem with him.
Yeah.
John Terry hasn't been injury prone throughout his career, whereas Nathan Baker has. I can see why we sold Baker. Personally, I'd have kept him, but I can see the reasoning behind it.
I also think Baker probably had a hand in that. And wanted to go and play football, and especially when Terry came in, Baker thought, well, I don't have a chance here.
Yeah. Max Roberts, worst situation, Villa 15-16, Sunderland 17-18. I think he means 16, Villa 16-17, I'm presuming. Because Sunderland are in the Championship in 17-18, whereas Villa weren't in 15-16. Sunderland are in big trouble. We said that at the start of the season, that they were going to be the Villa of this year, but possibly worse because they're in a terrible state.
Yeah,
they've just got a complete mishmash of players. I think it's a mistake to get rid of Simon Grayson because I can't see who they're going to get in.
Yeah, I mean they seem to be struggling to even link names with
the times I'd seen Sunderland, they weren't that bad. They were losing, but they weren't that bad. And Grayson's a astute Championship manager, so I think they're not going to get. Who are they going to get? Still.
Ancelotti, it's the only one.
I mean, John O'Shea was one of the favourites the last time I saw.
Really?
I mean, he's not even a manager.
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it?
I mean, they're in all sorts.
On a slight side note, Sam Allardyce has been linked with a few jobs. Do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about whether Bruce might be replaced or not? And I mentioned Allardyce, and you said there's no way he was ever coming out of retirement. And I said,
not guaranteed yet.
I said, wait until a job comes up, and if he was offered the Villa job, I think that would have tempted him. And now he's been linked with Everton and West Ham. I think he was linked with as well.
Did you see that they were saying Everton's dream appointment at this point is Simeone earlier? Did you see that?
No. Who said that?
I dream about a lot of things, but some of my dreams have probably got more chance of happening than Simeone going to Everton.
I hope not. Let's probably not go down that road.
He'll be in an elite club if he ever leaves Atletico.
Yeah.
I think he used to play for Inter. He'll end up somewhere like that.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll have his pick of the jobs. I mean, he was linked with Arsenal last season, I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's linked with Chelsea if that job came up.
Chris Poyner, now we're stuck with bottom half of the Championship centre-backs. It's possibly a bit harsh. Chester's certainly not a bottom of the Championship centre-back. I don't think selling Baker was the difference between pass-failing, financial fair play, We needed to sell people at the time. It wasn't guaranteed that Marvey was going to go
Yep.
and make money after whatever happened with Seville, that disaster. Oh, left his phone on in the podcast again. This guy, 2 phones, both on.
No.
Dear me.
I've only got 2% battery on that one. What are the chances? Do you know why I turned that on? It's because I was waiting for you and you didn't call me back when I rang you 6 times.
Imagine my surprise when I got to my phone and you were already there, having been late every week since May, or whenever we started filming. Hoppo, Ben Hopkins, is back in the comments. Should we be giving Sullivan a chance at centre-back instead of Samba? The kid has captained and won the under-19 Euros. It's not going to happen, because he's not even been on the bench in the Championship yet. So
It'd be nice to see him involved, though. Like I don't know what will happen.
Mitch Clark would be the one I'd like to see out of anyone.
I think we'll get onto a comment. Maybe somebody drew out their formation. I think they had Mitch Clark coming in second.
Kieran Han says, would you put any of the other Villa players in the bracket of irreplaceable, or is it just JT?
That's a good question.
I think JT and Chester
Do you?
are both irreplaceable.
Does that contradict your statement a little bit earlier where you said Codger needs to come back in?
We've won games without Codger.
Yeah, and we'll win games without John Terry.
We don't know that, Tom.
That's true, but it's like Schrodinger's box, isn't it? Well, we have to play.
The thing is,
games
we were
for
scoring goals without Codger. I don't see us keeping clean sheets without Terra, which is going to cause problems in games. That's what I'd say.
I mean, it's a huge position. Yeah, we'll see. I would say, well, I don't know. I think if you're going to pick one, then Codger's probably the next closest.
Yeah, but I'd say only Chester and Terry are irreplaceable. Even Johnston, as good as he's been, Jedstey is a good backup. I just don't think we're as stocked with quality at centre back as we could be. Jatinder, would you ever play Green, Grealish, and O'Hare in the same team once they're all fit? Something like that's the dream, isn't it? 3 academy lads playing in the Aston Villa first team and doing well.
It is, but do you think they all fit together? Would you play O'Hare wide?
He actually has a good point. No, I don't like him wide. I like him as a number 10.
I'd love it, like Dan says there, the dream is to have all these academy players playing, and I can certainly see them being a crux of a squad going forward, but I'm not sure that maybe they all come in together.
Maybe if we go gung-ho again, we might see
Yeah, that's true.
All together. We've already touched on, well, we've done more than touch on Hogan. Lob, do Villa have a plan B? If we don't, who was the last Villa manager to have a plan B?
Oh, interesting question, that.
You know what? I don't know whether I can think of a single Villa manager that's had a plan B.
John Gregory?
Yeah, maybe, because he changed from wing-backs to 4-4-2 when wing-backs wasn't working, and we went on a mini run. Maybe Gregory. Gregory and Little are the 2 most astute Villa managers in my time. I don't remember Ron Atkinson as well. Obviously, he was a very good manager. Since then, we've not really got appointments right, have we? In the main, O'Neill didn't as good as he was, and the fact that he's a joker.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can't get into O'Neill.
He definitely didn't have a plan B.
Having this podcast actually, like, kind of more looking back at it and speaking with you and speaking with other fans, that convinced me that actually, yeah, you're right, he didn't have a plan B. He had a very good team, but maybe he couldn't change it as much as maybe I thought he could.
Laurie Jones, where is Tom's chant? Well, you're going to wish you haven't asked that when you listen to the podcast.
If you've got this far to listening to your own question, Laurie, then you've braved through the chanting, and for that I apologise.
What are your thoughts on the Terry Chester chant? I don't really know what chant he's talking about, to be honest. It's not the Terry's on Tinder chant, is it? Clarify for me which chant you're talking about, and we'll talk about it next week, although I do think we should leave chants alone now.
Yeah, chants are dead.
Powell Bendixon, how many bad days at the office is acceptable to Villa and what frequency? I wouldn't even say Wolves was a bad day at the office. We just got completely outplayed by a team that's definitely going to go up.
Yeah, we weren't. I mean, Wolves were a different class, weren't they? It's not like we didn't turn up. I mean, I guess we should be competing with teams like Wolves.
It was 0-0 at half time, so we were competing for a half.
We were competing, but they bossed it.
Yeah,
They absolutely bossed it.
Oh, but they're going to go up.
Yeah.
I've said this before, people going about the money we've spent and stuff. They've got a ridiculous collection of players purely because they've got an agent involved.
It's dangerous, that.
They've got players who wouldn't go to a lot of teams in the Premier League, if I'm being honest.
No.
They're at Wolves purely because of their agent. And it's Dodger.
To answer that point, I don't think you can put a... Well, can you put a number on how many bad days at the office you had?
Well, you can't have too many because you won't
no.
go up.
You don't want to lose that many games, but I don't know. It's such a hard question.
Brad's done a little poll.
So we're just not going to answer it.
No, I don't know. You can't have too many. I would say we maybe be allowed one more this year.
Right.
You're gonna lose games. You're gonna draw games, but we could do with going on a little bit of a run now.
I was thinking one every 6 or 7 weeks.
I don't know what the teams that went up with last year. I don't know how many they lost. Mm-hmm. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm just looking further down my chair as well. Who would you replace Terry with? Brad's done a little poll here. I'm going to vote and just see what the results are. So there's only 4 votes. 2 for Jedinak, 2 for Elphick, none for Samba.
Well, yours was pretty important then, wasn't it?
Yeah, you levelled it up for Jedinak. Mm. This is the one that I found a bit strange. Zebra111, a regular commenter on Twitter. Isn't there a school of thought Terry was an accident waiting to happen? When we bought him, we knew 3 games in a week, a 46 game in a season was unrealistic. He was handling the games very well. It was, as we say, it was just a freak injury. It's one of those things.
I think if we were going to play him every game for 46 games, then the toll would have come in March, and we would have had to manage him better then. I don't think now is the time to judge. Did he play too much? I don't think that's the issue here.
Tagmeister has done more research than we've ever done.
Ooh.
On Scott Hogan. Scott Hogan, 13 starts for Villa, won 2, drawn 2, lost 9. Discuss. In my opinion, poor technique, not very quick, can't head, likes an air shot. Brentford goals must have been a fluke. Those stats aren't great.
The stats don't read particularly well. No. I don't think that's fair though. Likes an air shot, poor technique. I think this is a confidence thing.
He's quick. He is quick.
Yeah,
he's quicker than you think he is.
I just think if things have been slightly different, then maybe some of them air shots, maybe those that have gone wide, the ones that he's missed, then they go in, and actually we're talking about a guy that scored half a dozen goals and is competing every week to keep out Codger, keep out Davis, and being an integral part of this team.
I was really pleased when I wanted to see what him and Davis could do as a pair. Actually, although I'm saying 4-4-2 isn't sustainable, at the time when I read that team, and Ian Taylor was the same when we did the Facebook Live, he was pleased to see Hogan and Keenan Davis, and he knows a lot more about football than I do. So the fact that he was pleased tells you that he rates Hogan. He sees a player in Hogan. It just isn't happening at the moment. But I still wouldn't bet against. At some point in the season, he's going to score. He's going to score an important goal for us. I don't know when it will be, but once he gets one, it'll just completely change his game. Like you say, those air shots and stuff, they suddenly start going in. When you're on a bad run, like that one he cleared off the line against Middlesbrough,
yes.
I think it was just everything is going against him.
Yeah.
The game against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday where everything went wrong for Villa, the whole season, everything, ever since he's joined, everything's gone wrong for Hogan. He's had injuries, not had a run of games. The team's invariably played rubbish when he's been in the team. It's not like he's missing loads of chances, is it?
No, I totally
agree.
I
suppose people would point to the fact that maybe he's a bit too... If he's not missing the chances, he's not getting in the right positions.
I don't know. I think for me, he is getting in the right positions, and he has had a couple of mares where you'd look at it, and if you're playing on a Saturday afternoon and your mate has just missed that, then you're going to give him grief all night long for it. But for me, it's a massively confidence-inducing thing, scoring a goal, and it breeds this new life of a player. And so far we haven't seen it. Whether we will see the best of Hogan, probably not at this point. And it just seems to be unfortunate rather than... I mean, he was a very expensive player, which people remember. And, I mean, if this is the last that we really see of Hogan, then he will go... But if this is the best that we ever see of Hogan, then he'll go down as a flop. And that's
because we spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah.
But he's not alone. Villa, players that Villa have spent a lot of money on and it hasn't worked out, or players that we haven't even spent money on that haven't done well at Villa and then go on elsewhere.
Yeah.
And do well. There's a little 4'0" lad in midfield for Sheffield Wednesday who the fans didn't like when he was at Villa, and then he's running the show for Sheffield Wednesday and beating us at Villa Park. The fans didn't like Barry Banan. But I bet there's not too many Villa fans that would turn down having him in midfield now in the squad at the at the very least. I was just working out why you were talking about Hogan. We've actually only scored 4 goals from strikers in the league all season so far.
Yeah, I think somebody tweeted about that as well, the fact that we're not getting goals from strikers. You've always said it's good to see that the goals are coming from other places.
They're coming from other places now. It's complete opposite.
But maybe we can put it together after the international break. How about that?
I mean, even Gabby's one of those goals on the first game of the season. He was playing left wing at the time. So Codger scored a penalty and Davies has scored 2 headers in 2 away games this season. We haven't had a player playing up front score a goal from open play at Villa Park yet this season.
Well, Steve Bruce has got a couple of weeks to sort it out before we go away to QPR. So let's hope that they get back on the training ground. We can find a replacement for John Terry and kind of stabilise November at least and work out how long this injury is going to be.
We've still got, regardless of Terry being out and the fact I said how worried I am, the games we've got in November are winnable. QPR seem to up it against the big boys. I was speaking to Dean Spencer, or I wasn't even speaking to him actually. He just took great pleasure in leaving a comment about QPR like to beat the big boys. So at least he acknowledged that Villa are a big boy.
Well, yeah, it could be worse.
Hopefully we don't run into him at Loftus Road.
That would be a nasty.
That's the last thing we need.
Right, are we done?
Think so, yeah. Yeah, why not?
Nice. Thank you so much for listening once again, for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, and for leaving iTunes reviews. We appreciate all of that. It's massively helpful, and we love it. And we love having conversation about Villa, whether it's a win or a loss. We're in here every week, aren't we?
Yeah, nearly weren't today.
Yeah, Dan's feeling a bit under the weather, and I've got a flight at 3. So,
God,
you know,
you're a right jet setter nowadays.
I am.
Aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, the weekend was for pleasure. This one's for work. But,
business. It's business time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So do get involved. Let us know your comments. If you're not a Bruce fan, let us know what he could do to help you out. If you've got comments on anything else, the Villa View's coming back. We're international break, aren't we? So there might not be as much this week.
No, they'll be back next week. There'll be some stuff.
And we'll be back again next week as well. So, yeah, we look forward to chatting.
We need to discuss whether we're going to try and do fan cams at Loftus Road.
Oh, yeah, we could give it a go.
As well. Not sure which one of us would be the more capable of videoing.
I think that'd be me, wouldn't it?
Would it?
We'll swap it around. I have to prove that I'm there.
We'll work it out. Maybe if we lose, I'm not doing it. That's the other thing. Every time I do fan cams, we never win.
Read into it how you will.
When Lynch rocks up for a couple of games this season, we've won both the games he's
now
been
he's
to.
Gone.
We've won both the games he's been to this season. Max has only done it a few times. All wins. I do it. Oh, Sheffield Wednesday win 2-1.
Well, maybe I'll do it then. I'll do it.
Anyone but me.
All right, nice one. Well, thank you very
Tom
much.
Do it.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, little Tom, that'll be good. And we'll speak to you next week.
Cheers.
Up the Villa.
I think. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.